Hello friends and traders, welcome back. We have one of our senior trading member who had a quick question. I thought we should do it together. So looking at the last video, the question is, can we apply the energy levels and also at the same time discuss the sideways squares on a 15-minute ES chart. So this is ES 15-minute chart, and we are going to apply 369 price energy grid here first. Now this is the area where the market took sideways action and sideways actions. Now it doesn't matter because the time is not of essence in this, because this energy grid is independent of the price interactions. These are energy grids which are tuned and they self-tuned with the market. All right. At the same time, if you're applying this next sideways square, the chart doesn't have to be squared either, because we are using the price ranges. Okay, price ranges, which you can see market went up on Sunday and it went sideways for 6 hours and then it broke out from here. So this is our sideways action. If you see it on 1 minute or 2 minutes or 15 minutes, you see this is sideways action because market opened here, it went up, it came back to retest the opening bar, and it broke out from this high. Simple technical thought process. So this is our sideways range we're going to use, and what we're going to see is that we are going to see some squares coming up. We'll keep everything as default for now. Now if you're a member of 369 Advanced Professional Trading L1 or L2, you are entitled to take one of these ranges free. Any of the ranges videos we have created for you a few days back. Alright, so all these ranges 1, 2, 3, 4, just take, you can pick any one you like. So if you like the square, it's of no cost, but we're not discussing here the investment or costing thing. We're discussing the technical question. All right, okay, so I have done 30-point separation of my grid on 15 minutes. On half an hour I can do more. On 5 minutes, 1 minute execution chart, I can go to 369 if I want to do scalping and tighten my stops. Okay, not a problem. So what is next? So we take this range expanding square series, number of stacks, let's say I want 6 stacks. I will not change anything else because scaling factor is 0.111, which is the angelic number of 3. So when I say 3 and when I say 111, if I say 0.111, they all come to 3. There are no decimals in the universe. And the funny part is, whole numbers can be inverted into decimals, and decimals can be converted back to whole numbers through magical laws of reflection. So we'll just keep it this way because this can be 90 also. 90 is same as 89. 89, why? Because there are some mystical numerology which shows up for 89, there are 8 jumps and 9 numbers, right? That's it. It's logic what we do. It's not randomness. So if you do it like this, right? What's wrong with this? Nothing. What we are after is, this is sideways range. Now this is subjective because you may think this is sideways, or you may think, okay, so let's say you thought this is sideways section. Right? So where does sideways start? Which bar is part of sideways? So this is the bar. Right, this is the bar, first bar of the sideways section, and it goes, and this bar is the one which is the last bar and comes out, and then it takes off. You can also put zigzag here, you can put Gann swings also here. So what is this giving us? This is giving us the structure of the market, separated by 90. You may think, okay, you know what, maybe I need a different, I don't think that's good enough, let me maybe capture this whole thing, and the breakout of this happens, that's the range. Or you may think, okay, well, I cannot make a point, this is part of the range, right? So this is, if I want to really stretch it with technical scenario and say, okay, this is the sideways action and it broke, nothing wrong with that either, right? So what are we doing with all this? You're saying, and now this doesn't need to be squared, right? If you're something like this is happening, you can simply do Control K, it will refresh it. You don't need to tie up. Or if you have to move the chart, right? Move this, Control K. Alright, so what is this telling us? This is telling us if you have placed the chart like this, what are we looking at? We are looking at the market where it is going. The market is standing here, it is going towards our polarity lines, right here. Our flux lines are right here. Our energy lines are right here, right? They go by several names. In the end, they are energy lines. And there's a square right here. Right? The height is not going to change. Again, I can just create it like this, small grids. As long as I keep my width is going to just expand it. The height is the one which is going to take it to the next level. And this is pretty much static structure. Okay? So it goes up 1, 2 into the square. Gives me confidence if it's going to hold here. Now there are no oscillators in what I demonstrate to you. Alright, so let's put some. Alright, so I have taken the oscillator here. Now if you want to square the chart, you can square the chart too, not an issue. Okay, so what is this? This is nothing more than momentum. Momentum has gone, momentum is the fuchsia, and then the green is the average. It crossed below this, right? A little late here. But the structures are telling us what to do, right? So this is where oscillators will always be delayed. We need to learn to trade the structures and the price alone. And the laws of nature. So there it is. We got 1 and 2 up. The reflection is going to be from here, center point, 1 and 2 down, and you can see. So time should not matter, right? And let's say you said, okay, you know what, maybe I will take this whole sideways action, right? Because I'm not here sitting trading for you. You are. So if you think this is the right range and it broke out and this is a sideways action, right? So then this is your structure you're looking at. So here we have this square. Remember 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. And you're squaring it out right here. You are inside the square. It can be anywhere in the square. Down that is where you can qualify your polarity. See that flux line? I will use it. Same thing, it got into the square. I have a polarity, I will take it. Okay. What else can we add to this? Well, simple. We added power bands. Looks like the coders so now what do we have? This is moving average and separation from the moving average. Does it help you? Do you need this help? Well, if you know their market, you don't need to. So that is all. Now let's say if you want to square it. So let's square the chart, which means I am freezing X and Y pixel 12 by 3 per day. Okay. Remember, the moment you just have to have some rhythm of 3, 6, 9. 1 by 3, 3 by 1, multiple of 3. 3 times 4, right? Why 4? Square has 4 sides. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 by 3 is a good kind of a fourth squared vibration of 3. So once we have that, where were we? And then Control K, it will refresh it, right? So there we are. So this is our sideways action, sideways, went up, retest. So it did change a little bit, not huge. Instead of doing the front, it went here, it went to the other side, to the end of it. Polarity is not changing, flux lines are not changing, energy lines are not changing. So that is, I think, the answer to this. Now you might say, hey, this whole thing is a square. This whole thing is a sideways action, and then it broke out from here. Somebody can make that argument right here. Still went to the square. One block, 2 blocks, and 3 blocks, and they have been risen by 0.111. Came back to the third one at the bottom, same as here. I hope this answers the question of squaring. This is subjective. That is why what are we doing with this? We are simply using this as a sideways action. You can do this too, right? Sideways ABC. So what is happening is this energy of the structure is reflecting on the sides. That's all is described here. Okay. Now, since we are on it, remember we talked about a few things here. One is the big bar. So this is our first initiative big bar, isn't it? So that's what you can do too. So this initiative big bar, this 15-minute bar is telling us market is potentially heading to the next square location. Okay, so let's try one more. Let's try on the way down, big bar. I'm just wrapping this. Now, why this is all designed, you will see in coming weeks and months about the jump circuitry of Gann. Actually, this is where you'll see how the jumping phenomena takes place in the market. But for now, just all right. So when this is happening, as you can see, I'm taking this height, nothing else, not the width, the height. There we go, right? So this height is telling us it's going to go into this square, it's going to go in this square. And what do we have here? We have polarity here. We have polarity here, right? So now you know what's going on. Now as I kept saying, and I'm saying again, 1 down, 3 up, 7 down, there are rules of Gann which are coming. This is what this is designed for, not what you're thinking. So that's why we're giving it to people just to see what you can do with this, right? So this is a big bar. Stretch it. See the reflections of this bar, right? What is happening? We're looking at the heights, reflections in heights. Okay, so what else did we say you can do? So this is the square height, you can see. This is the height. Okay, I stretched it all the way, midnight to midnight. And I will leave it alone. Now when I get into these squares, this is my original square. When I get into these squares, this is one sequence of squares. That's what I call series of squares. Series 2 and series 3. Okay, that's one thing. Now we have to start putting things together, right? Smartly. So we discussed going from end to end, from this start to this end, and drawing some trend lines. Remember this beginning and the end, and draw the trend line and see what happens. Where are we heading? We can also do this from beginning to beginning. So this is the beginning of this day, this is the beginning of this day. Beginning to beginning, beam it out. So again, what are we trying to achieve by doing all this? By using the square mechanism to hit and qualify our trading levels. This is all about, shall I trade here, shall I trade here, right? When market is going down, market is going up, shall I trade here or trade higher up? Do you see this, right? Okay. Beginning to beginning, push it out. So when it is right in the middle of it, I will not use it. Why? I need to be something trustworthy where I can hide and qualify this line. This is not a good line. Why is that? Our energy lines are here and here. I'm trying to figure out which one to trust. This is the question we are addressing. We are not replacing the fundamental energy where we trade. Let's say Q. We trade at these levels. They don't change. Now this is specific to NQ, right? We just change the separation based on the frequency. Our logic is not going to change ever. So if I see a beam addressing, now what is happening? I can say, okay, this guy is going to third square. This is the square range. It's quite a big range. Then it gets the polarity. Now you can see it came here to the tick and reflected, and it came back, reflected again. Second time it tried to break, but not able to close it strongly below this. If it did, it would have gone here. So this beam is chosen for that reason. We talked about passing it through some other other points where we can qualify one pivot on the way. Why? Addressing the same question. You're addressing the same question, nothing more. So let me get rid of the square so we can push things around. Let me refresh. Let's delete the trend line. So every time you see something introduced, fundamental level 1, this is our fundamental level 1 trading grid. We do not change. It will never change for next 500 years. It will never change because it is based on the natural laws of energy. Okay, so then we talked about it. We need to find a beam, something like this, beginning to end. Stay with beginning to end. This is one beam. There's another beam going in. Let's beam it. Third beam going from, I'm doing red to red, 24-hour beams. You can do beginning to end. So what is this telling us? Fundamental thing. Let's go back to the original point. So this is sideways action. Okay, this sideways action, we are saying market is going to go to these squares, as you can see, right? This is where I said start with using it as a square sideways action for square reflection. Okay, and there it is. We found a sideways action. Now you're able to find the reflection point. Now there's a polarity here, a square here. So there's a square and polarity here, square and polarity here. Which one I am going to trust? This one or this one? It could have gone here, it could have gone here. Same thing, it went 2 polarities down. Went up again, 2 polarities down, right? So from here, it went here, stopped for a while, came down, went up, came down. So 1 hour is spent here, 1 hour is spent here. It spent 6 hours here, right? More energy has been gathered here to reflect. Market goes on sideways, action, initiative move, sideways, initiative move, sideways, initiative move. That creates all the profiles. So you're trying to figure out which polarity line to trade. So this sideways action gave us a new reflection that hey, he's gonna go here. Okay, fine. What is there? Is there polarity here? Yes, that's our main thing. So I'm gonna trade here. I waited for this, waited for it. It would have gone down. I would have thought about going long. As long when it went up. I'm now looking at high 24-hour grid we have here, right? Okay, I'm just gonna beam it. It can be separated by 30 or 24 or 60 or 45. Start with 30, right? If it is too wide for you, come down, right? But ultimately our 30 is 369. That's why we use 30. 24 is 6. You can use that too. Then it becomes 24 by 24. So here it is, right? By beaming this, so let me now clean up. So what are we doing here is qualification. I'm just qualifying it. So now what is going on? I have this square of 3 by 6 square, which I've sliced it into 50% of the square. Okay, it's like a half a circle. Circle is a square by some ratio. Simple mathematics, right? Square and circles are interrelated. Okay, and then I have sliced the square. Now this doesn't look like a square. This looks like a rectangle. It's a square of energy of 3 by 6. Okay. Okay, and then I'm saying take this blue to blue or red to red and then slice it. And you're slicing this and this is going up and the square is there. So now I can say this polarity has become a very hard for me to trade. Then market goes down. Then we can say, okay, I need to see, is this polarity is gonna work or the next one is gonna work? Maybe it was have come down here, but there's no square here, right? The sideways square series is sitting here. This is this is one level of interest I have. Second interest will be coming up here later, right? Market never went there. That means if I have to trust this by some means, I need to find some beam coming here and validating something for me. And sometimes you will not find those beams. So we have a square. So now we have a sideways square overlapping the energy price level, and then what do I do next? I'm gonna look for it, right? So if can I find something which will pass through this? I can just try it, right? We don't know. This looks promising enough. This is a Sunday open. What happens? Now we found it. Trustworthy. 3 things. What is this? This is a slice. This is half a square half a circle, or you can say 90 degree is quarter, then 180 is half the circle. Circle is 360, half is 180. 180 is same as 9, right? 1 by 9 is also 9. Anything you do with 9 times 27 is 27. 9 plus 72 is 72. You just drop the 9. Right? And 72 is 9. Any operation you do with 9 remains 9. Isn't it funny? 9 basically disappears. It is there, but it's unseen force. Is 9 force, right? So 180 is half a circle. This is unseen force made visible by slicing the way I am saying square is a circle, and half a square slice right now is same as half a circle, which is a 180 degree, which is the hidden force of 9. Hidden force of 9, my friends. So I hope this makes sense, right? Practice. It doesn't hurt, as I say, if you want to use something, you can always use Hull moving average. Don't know if they have it here. Okay, use wave moving average. You can use that. The problem with this, it will not give you these points. So that's the problem. So by what we can do with this is only the measured move, right? How far have you gone from the average, and say, okay, at this moment in time you are rotating in this average on each side, right? See this? Okay, this is the impulse up from the mean, maximum impulse from the mean. On the other side, from the same side, flip it on the other side, you're gonna get the same thing, reflection. That's all they are good for, actually, in my view. Okay, so let's try one more last thing. Now you know, and always put in writing step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything you see, you do the same thing over and over in sequence. And then you extend it. If there's a confusion, you bring one more tool. While we are at it, let's also try to use C54. Now the coders are doing a lot of work here. I got used to their naming conventions. So what does this say? This says, if this is my impulse, it broke here. And let's see the projection from there. Let me fix it. Yeah, this is a little bit of again, this tool, as we have mentioned many times. Oops. Okay, so this is a trend line which we are saying it has to break first, right? This is a trend line. You will be tempted. There are 3 trend lines. Just to remind you, we talk about there are 3 trend lines. This is a very flat trend lines, and we need another very high, powerful, high sloping trend line. Let's expand this, right? So what is the best trend line definition 369 offers is break and retest on the other side. There it is. So this line is going through all other things. We don't care. Remember, I'm creating this from a starting pivot. It could have be done from here too. We're starting from some pivot, saying, okay, market went up, right? This is a very strong line. And then finally it broke, retest it on the other side. See this? Break, red one, green, reflection, right? we are hijacking the idea of trend lines, and we are saying, okay, if that is the case, right, and we are saying, okay, if this is A, this is B, our C is here, where are our targets? There it is. So printed right here. This now, this is also like fat lines here, right, which is a real strong level. That's why we made it fat, but all these levels will work. Now you can see you have, this is a frequency of 9, this is also frequency of 3, and this is frequency of 6. So this is 9, this is 3, this is 6. Okay, anyway, the levels are here. Now you see, at this point I took the other things out because we can see. So we are just trying to use these energy bands very effectively in level 1 mastery, where to trade, where not to trade, right? All right. Let's add big bar angle. Now this is Gann's understanding. Let's remove the other one. If you understand the science behind things, you'll not be confused, right? Okay, so you don't know where to place it. We say place it either on the extreme high low pivots or at the big bars. Remember, we are only interested in two things: so smallest bars and the biggest bars. So this is the smallest bar, which is also pivot, right? Came into my angles. I'm happy to use them. Same thing here. This is 45, this is 45, this is half of the 45, 22.5 from this. Let market come inside. Now I'm at polarity, right? All right, so that's how it goes. So we are here. So how do we really get into understanding where the trend has flipped, right? If you're gonna use this big bar on the top, we find a big bar, let this angle break. It broke, came to retest on this energy lines, took off. Now you have to become a trader, understand the basics. This line broke, it held, it went off. So this is how Gann was saying, okay, to trade this, trend has changed once you have flipped on the other side of 45 degrees. It flipped on the other side of 45 is the right here. This is 45. Okay. So until this point, it attempted to break it, it failed, came down again. So according to Gann, this is a long trade because the trend has changed on the other side. Now you can see it's not easy to trade this way. Why you think we went beyond Gann? This is the reason. Okay, so now let's see the sideways action on this day quickly and wrap this up. Wow, been going on for a while. Just trying to slow down and just trying to put things together in perspective for you. Okay, so if this is my sideways action, just like this one, it broke. So 1, 2 and 3. So okay, if it gets here tomorrow or tonight or whenever it does, this is area of interest. That is what we want to look at trading this. We are doing 3 jumps. Sometimes we will do 4 jumps. We have to see. Okay. There's some laws of it, but for now, let's check this out. So this is sideways action. It broke. It came back to retest this square again. That's what they say, right? Sideways action. Now this, if you look at the market profile, I'm talking about a few other things here, but again, this is in this time window, this is your profile. Break of the value, retest of the value. You have to beam something. Let's beam something. Okay, this beam looks good. Why is that? Because I went from this beginning to this end and it had this pivot in the middle. So now we can say the market gets to this area. Now tomorrow these lines will change. So you have to check where those might be, right? So this beam, we're going to keep it for now and see what market is going to do when it gets to these levels. Or these levels, upcoming levels. So this is how you play the detective, okay, and play the probabilities. So the squaring is not required, short answer. These lines are not visible to us until midnight has passed, so it will wait for it. When the midnight comes, we'll get to see it. Alright, my friends, just I think I wanted to check that with you. Let's put Sunday open, which is part of level 2. Sunday is here. We placed it here. Now the Sunday open is placed on this polarity energy lines. We get a better view of things too. So what are we saying here? We are saying this month is 2, okay, and the day is 7. And we say it can go, now I cannot divide this. As we talk about Sunday open, we cannot divide it because it will create fraction. It has to be whole division. So it will be staying as 2 or 7. So it went from here on this day 2 to 2. Now you have this system grid right here qualified. Okay, and now what's happening on this next day? 2 and 8. So it has not done going up. So if I divide this 8 by 2 is going to be 4. So if it was at 4, it'll be interesting, which is sitting right here, which is again the beam is going as well. It's saying it will be somewhere in this area. So tomorrow will be 9 and 2. 9 is 369. So this is how you play the circuitry, right? That's all there is. So market open here. Okay, you already should be have taken advantage of this 2 and 2 for this day. Now this day is not finished, but this is 2 and 4. Sorry, 2 and 4, which is again this is 8. This is 2, right? Divide 8 by 2 is 4. Divide by 2 is 4 is 2. So it will vibrate or 248 this day. Okay, and that is based on division. How about subtraction? So 8 minus 2 is 6. When you see 3 or 6 or 9, we're talking about 369. So what happened this day? It did not work on the division principle, it worked on the subtraction principle, 1 to 3. Now you see this, even though it is pretty simple, we have to be playing with this mindset. If you ask me, is it going to be division today or addition today, I cannot tell you. I have not been given this information yet. I'm hoping, something else will come right soon. So if you are in a situation like this, right? So you're doing 2 4 in a doubling, 2 4 8 or half 8 4 2. So 2 was already given to us. Anticipation was it will go to 2 here or here, and it went to 2, but then it went to 3 also. So it did complete its mission 2, came down and went up here. Okay, so Sunday open. I'll always keep Sunday open. I will always keep this astro polarity. Rest is I'm trying to do more juice. Lots of juice based on what objective I'm trying to finish. So let's get to a third thing, like Mandela. These are the inner and outer vibrations. We have done so much automation that we can pretty much finish the entire level 1 and level 2. Now I think if you push it, if you're smart enough to capture it very fast, in let's say 40 hours. Okay, because 24 tools, give and take 90 minutes a tool, explanation, theory behind it, logic, why we build it, how it is built, what it is representing, going through all this. 1 week, 4 days, 10 hours, 4 days, you're done. You have 25 tools and you're done. 4 days. Your life changes forever. But here it is, right? Now we're going to use Mandela. And then what is Mandela telling us? It's going to 2. It did go to 2. Went to the top of the 2 and Mandela. So we were right on this division principle for this day. And then after it came down, it went to next 3. Okay, so Mandela doesn't know that. So this is the next initiative move, right? So it came down from that, reaction happened. I mean, this is a big bar, and then the next big bar is, this is also very big bar. See, this is a white bar, I put it there. Where does it tell us? 3. You can see how all the natural things are aligning together. What is missing? What is missing in all this? You. in action. And it only comes with practice. Watching the market. One market will set you free. Okay, well, let's apply on this one, QQQ, right? Okay, if that is that, well, you can see how good these levels are, how they're bouncing from these levels. Okay, now let's put Mandela here and let's wrap it, right? This is Thanksgiving, for thanking all our friends who are gathered. Okay, so this is a big bar, this is also a big bar, this is initiative big bar. Market opened here, boom, 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 it goes and went here and got a big first bar. So if I go from there, what do I get? Remember, I told you each bar has internal vibrations which are represented by these white and yellow lines, and external vibrations, as you can see. Now this is a Mandela, ranges are pretty big. They're telling you again where you want to trade, which one you want to trade. See this? It went to the tick almost. This is Q. That means I can trust this guy, and if I'm trading NQ, I can see that market is going like this. It takes off other way around. This is the reason. So this loss works on everything if you make it work. As I also said, big bars will not go to the red the same day. It may reach there, right, from this. Now what is happening here? As I told you, this bar has internal reflections, okay, which is this. So first of all, this did not respect this one on this side, but it respected this on the other side. And then looking from here, when I put it on the top, it is pointing to the same location. So going up, internal vibration, reflection on the other side, coming down, initiative vibration, moving in the same location. Now if you want to use an oscillator, if you don't have any oscillators, we have 3 oscillators. Let's put master oscillator. So if you don't have a good oscillator, this is a good one to have. And this is Q on the top. This one saying going short right here. It is not the oscillator which is doing the work. Oscillators are always the last step. So this is initiative move bar. It is going to this bar now. This bar is telling me, this energy is telling me where it's going to go and vibrate, and I have a line sitting there, and then I have an oscillator confirming it. I can take a shot. Goes on and on and on, any instrument, any time frame, right? So this is how. Now what is our methodology here, right? Our trading methodology is pretty simple. Very simple. We are not looking at, these are just helper bands. Our trading methodology is pretty simple, right? Sunday open must be there. We know the vibrations and the levels. So we have 369 vibrations for NQ. So we have Sunday vibration, NQ, as I mentioned before in my videos, we can also go from high to low. So where was the high and the low? This was the Friday low. Right, this is the Friday low. You got the idea. Market is going here. Okay, and from here, market is going there. You can see, right? So these things work. Okay, what else is there? Once we are okay, let's try some other things for NQ. Frequency ranges for NQ. Okay, Nothing much to do here. Click on it. This vibration from here is saying, okay, it's gonna go here. It went here, stopped, reflected, reflected. Okay, I'll keep this area. So we have reflections coming up here. Okay, now this is all working, but it did not reach the bottom end yet, which means it's a strength in the market. Okay, so if I go it from here, same thing showed up here, right? So what does that mean? If I put it here, I'm seeing reflections from the open, reflection on the top, on the bottom. So if I put it on the bottom, what am I expecting here? Right? It's going here. So I put my probabilities in my favor. I said, okay, market is going here, it's gonna go here, it's gonna go there, and it does. Okay, that's great. How do I trade it? Well, how do you want to trade it? It's pretty simple. We have to put our trading methodology lines there. These things here, right? It's Sunday open. So you put the evidence of things together. So if I put it here, market was not able to. You got reflected so many times from here. Even though market is going up, it's still reflected. So it is trying to meet a bigger objective of vibration coming from here. And now Sunday is here. Now if I open this one here, okay, so what is it telling me? If this is my initiative move, right? If I start from here, where is it going? Retesting on the top. If I go from here, it's gonna go, and it already did this retest on these frequencies. If it's gonna go up, well, I have a probability space. All the numbers are already there. These are coming from the profiling frequencies, market profile frequencies. They're coming from there. So this is how you create your stories, my friends, and I hope this 1 hour story is enough to get you started. Thank you so much.